So what is the assistance that's required? You can get online and have a look at the savings calculator. So online on our website, there is a way you can calculate if you do manual purchase orders versus automatic. It will give you a rough idea. And all you need to do is ask, because the assistance can come from the federal government through the Department of Industry, can come from the state government. Am I right, ladies? The state government is supportive of these initiatives here? Very much so. So, local communities, even sometimes, dare I say, Patricia, would it be true that some local governments, like local councils, are there to support some of their businesses? Certainly I've seen it in Queensland. We were in Queensland, Sunshine Coast, we were really impressed with the local councils. They're very actively promoting businesses within their communities. So it's something that does happen. So seek consultancy. And it may be the big end of town, or it might be freelancers. It might be young professional students. Give them a chance. Give them a little job to do with a little reward at the end. Young students we find, and you might want to get in contact with Curtin University, which is a great university, a technically oriented university. So you might want to say, hey, let's grab a couple of graduates. Let's give them something to do. Small project, yeah? So don't think always, I've got to employ somebody at $100,000. Young people, and I've noticed this, and this is an opportunity, so contact Curtin if you want to. But students are looking for opportunities to prove their stripes, to put something. They've got a blank piece of paper called the CV. They need to put something in it, yeah? You might be it. So think about how GS1 Australia can help you. And also the final thing is, be careful what you read and see on Professor Google and Dr. YouTube, because sometimes, while a lot of the information is instructive, sometimes it can be misleading. So be discerning about what you see online. I talked about the alliance partner, so I'm not going to repeat that. So before we go to Industry 4.0, which is a little bit out there, so we might leave that to the very end, what we want to do is we want to look at a little bit of the review. So we're going to have now the chaser game. So if you like to pull out that, looks like the TV show. And what you will need to do is, at the bottom, you'll need to select and insert your answers. The answers will be A, B, C, D. So the bottom row, which says your answers, that's what you need to fill in. The answers, we'll show you a question. It will have 4 options. You need to select what you think is the right answer and put A, B, C, D. And then we'll run the chaser answers afterwards. We'll give you the right answers, and you need to compare whether how close you got to the chaser. Think Channel 7 if you're doubting if you've ever seen the show. So, all right, so that's the game we're going to play. So let's start. Which one is not a type of warehouse? Bonded, cross-dock, returns good depot, or back of store reserve? So which one is not a warehouse? Okay, moving on. All good? Why is it good to automate, do you think? It reduces errors, it saves time, it saves money, or all of the above? Which is the most compelling reason to automate sooner than later? Is it because your trading partner wants you to? Is it because automation is the future and automation will wait for no one? Is it that the training session has been so convincing and that's why you're going to do it? Or is it because your younger staff members love using gadgets? Okay. What is interoperability? Is it getting your products online? Is it using the same ERP system as your trading partners? Is it sharing structured data across multiple partners, processes, and systems? Or is it using Excel spreadsheets? What's interoperability? We've mentioned it once or twice through the presentation. Okay, moving on. Why is default difficult to achieve? And Luke, you defined default for us. delivery in full on time. So, no one can predict the future 100% accurately. B, because most businesses rely on third-party transport. We cannot afford to hold too much stock. That's why we run out of stock all the time. Or we are merchants, not IT geeks. So don't bother me with too much guff here. Which option? Question 6, which is not part of the GS1 system? Barcodes, EDI, an ERP system, or data synchronization, which is not part of the GS1 system. What is the best way to overcome staff resistance? So if you have people who are resisting you, is it to give them the ultimatum, it's automation or your elimination? Is it to keep them in the dark and exclude them from involvement? Is it to promote them to a position where they can do no harm? Or you explain, communicate, and engage them? Well, I tell you what happens very often. Absolutely. Very good. Number 8. Operational effectiveness and efficiency, and we talked about effectiveness and efficiency, fails because we have too many people doing too little. Bad data, manual processes, disconnected systems. Is it SOPs have not been updated since 1998, or it's all IT's fault? I know what happens sometimes at GS1, I'll tell you. But anyway, number 9. What is the purpose of barcode scanning? Is it to capture data automatically, replacing manual data entry? Is it to uniquely identify the products? Is it to share the data? Or is it having a few scanners around the place makes you look good? And the final question. Warehouse automation is only about spending a lot of money on IT, replacing existing systems and processes, reducing staff numbers, or none of the listed options. Emphasis is only. So is it only about this, only about that, only about this, or it's not only about these things? It's about much more. All right. Have we finished? Very good. So let's replay the answers. 1, back of reserve store. So the answer is D. Question 2. The answer is D, which is all. Question 3. The answer is B. Automation is the future and waits for no one. So in other words, it doesn't matter what we do, what we say today, what's going to happen will happen, automation will keep happening. What is interoperability? It's sharing structured data between trading partners. So interoperability means that you have the data and the structure of the data is such that can work across multiple trading partners. If you like, interoperability is a multi-plug, an electricity multi-plug, which you can plug it in any kind of PowerPoint, yeah? Think about it like that. Right, default is difficult to achieve because you cannot predict the future accurately. That's a bit of a tricky question. Because in all reality, if I was to give you with 100% accuracy, if you could predict the future and say to you, all right, Mark, you know what? On the 1st of December, this is what you're going to need. On the 2nd of December, this is what you're going to need. And I give you, like I'm reading a crystal ball, you won't have a problem because you'll meet your plan to meet. But the thing is, we live in an unpredictable world, yeah? So this is, I guess, the challenge, that default to deliver on time and in full is difficult because we can't tell the future. Demand can fluctuate. Now, ERP is not part of the GS1 system. It uses the GS1 system, but it's not part of it. We don't have a product called ERP. And actually, GS1 is technology agnostic, so any software can operate with GS1. Certainly, barcodes, part of the GS1 system, EDI, and data synchronization. All these 3 things are clearly part of the GS1 system. Now, the way to encourage to remove staff resistance is bring them in the tent. Promote them, kind of threaten them. You can do whatever you want, but bring them in the tent. 8, bad data, disconnect of systems, a lack of integration is very important here. So this is where we fail, because we have bad data, we don't have good processes, and there's disconnects between systems and processes and people. Number 9, barcode scanning clearly replaces manual data entry. And D, the last question, it's not only about saving money or spending money or reducing staff or replacing existing systems. It is not only about any one of those things. Warehouse automation is about a whole lot of things that we talked about today. So, anybody who's got 10 out of 10? 9 out of 10? Very good. 8? Very good. Okay, we're doing well. All right, now, we're going to go backwards slightly. What we want to do is play the last video, and this is going to be the end of the session. We would like to play this video that the Department of Industry has asked us to play, and this is about Industry 4.0. So I'll start with a little bit of a preamble. So a little bit about the Industry 4.0. As you will see from the video, and do we have any German speakers in here? If you speak German, there's tons of German. Well, there's quite a bit of German there, so you'll see the subtitles. But because it's around Siemens, actually. The story pivots around Siemens is one of the brands that is featured in it. But Industry 4.0 is the next evolution of industry. So as the video will tell you, we have gone through a series of evolutionary steps in the history of technology. So the Industrial Revolution, for instance, is a part of that. The Agrarian Revolution, so we've had different revolutions. Now we're in the Technology Revolution. Now the Technology Revolution has occurred already in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, but this is beyond that. So this is where we have the rise of not only automation, but artificial intelligence and a whole lot of other things, autonomy, system autonomy, and other aspects that we talked about, self-corrections and self-optimization, all these things. And you'll see what that means in reality. And it will give you a bit of an insight. Why the department wants us to share with you this video is to give you an understanding of what's not way, way ahead. We're not talking about the next 50 years, but certainly within the horizon, you're going to start seeing some of these technologies emerging. So this is, before we do the wrap-up, this is the last quick video.
A vision of tomorrow's manufacturing. Products finding their way independently through the production process. In intelligent factories, machines and products communicate with each other, cooperatively driving production. Raw materials and machines are interconnected within an Internet of Things. The objective: highly flexible, individualized and resource-friendly mass production. That is the vision for the fourth industrial revolution. A look back at history. At the end of the 18th century, the first steam engines and the intelligent use of hydropower revolutionized production. The late 19th century saw the rise of electrical engineering and mass production. The first moving belt conveyor was used as long ago as 1870 in the slaughterhouses of Cincinnati, Ohio. In the mid-1970s, electronics and IT began to expand rapidly into industry. Siemens developed the first SIMATIC. Production became increasingly based on computer-assisted controls. The fourth industrial revolution is still a vision. Experts believe that it will only become a reality within the next 20 years. In intelligent factories, everything is interconnected wirelessly. At the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence in Kaiserslautern, this future can already be experienced right now. Research is underway here into exactly what the industrial production of tomorrow will be like.
Fabriken werden zukünftig aus Bausteinen bestehen, aus smarten oder intelligenten Bausteinen, wie man es nennen mag. Vergleichen wir das vielleicht mal so ein bisschen mit einer Lego-Steinwelt. Das heißt, wir haben standardisierte Bausteine, die wir hoffentlich relativ einfach zusammenstecken und zusammensetzen können. Jeder dieser Bausteine hat bestimmte Funktionalitäten und wir können sie zukünftig in einem solchen fabrikinternen Internet dann kombinieren.
A bottling plant for liquids, set up together with Siemens, is used to demonstrate the most important components of the intelligent factory of the future. Each bottle contains an RFID chip storing a precise description of how it has to be processed, which liquid, which lid, and which label. At each station, the bottle communicates directly with the machine, telling it how it has to be processed. At the end, a computer checks whether the bottle has actually been produced as desired. Factories with networked machines and products are already in existence today. In the future, however, these hitherto self-contained systems will be connected together in a comprehensive network. All devices, machines and materials will be duly equipped with sensors and communications technology and connect to each other. These systems are known as cyber-physical systems. The highlight is that they communicate with each other and also control each other cooperatively.
Wenn Sie sich das Thema Industrie 4.0 angucken, dann basiert sie ja auf der Logik dieser Cyber-Physical Systems. Das heißt, Sie haben autokrate selbst arbeitende Systeme, die sich optimieren und sich gegenseitig austauschen. Und dadurch letzten Endes Produktion optimieren.
Ja, die Vision sieht so aus, dass wir ein Internet quasi hinunterziehen bis auf die unterste Ebene. Das heißt, jeder Sensor, jeder Aktor wäre damit quasi ein Teilnehmer eines Internet der Dinge. Jedes Gerät hat damit eine eigene IP-Adresse, ist damit adressierbar in diesem Netzwerk.
For the customers, this means tailor-made products at relatively affordable prices. For industry, it means highly flexible mass production that can be rapidly adapted to market changes, because in the future, product life cycles will be even shorter. Another reason why it's increasingly important to depict engineering across the entire life cycle. Maintenance, for instance, is planned in from the very start.
Wir haben ja bereits in den 90er Jahren mit Totally Integrated Automation entsprechend ein Setup gewählt, wo unsere Produkte und Systeme sehr gut miteinander kommunizieren können.
At Corporate Technology in Princeton, a cyber-physical control is being researched even today. The vision, the control, and all linked sensors are connected to the Internet.
One potential scenario is enabling the PLC to react to utility pricing information in building automation. We can enhance PLCs to use simulation to calculate how much to pre-cool a building, with the ultimate goal of turning off the cooling system during peak times.
But that's just the beginning.
We've prototyped capabilities in a PLC to access big data in cyberspace in real time. And we've also enabled a network of PLCs to connect to a dynamic simulation of the entire physical process.
Siemens is shaping the future of industry. Connecting the real with the virtual world of production is making it possible to enter entirely new dimensions in quality, efficiency, and flexibility. The company is well prepared for Industry 4.0.
Okay, very good. What we might do now is just land on a particular slide. This is the last slide. Now, what does Internet 4.0 mean? And if you think this is just too fancy or whatever, I'll share with you one little story. Yeah, sorry.
Just again, sorry to interrupt again.
Please.
So this is now, has been about 5 years ago, right? So
Yes.
we now have a solution under $10,000 for food manufacturers. The department has up to $250,000, $250,000 matched funding to implement these sorts of things, anywhere from $5,000 to $250,000, including some of the capital expenditures such as sensors. It doesn't have to be automated. It could be, if you have a bagging machine, a proximity sensor will see if it's a bag gone. So that's like a sensor that is networked back into some of the other things. If you have something curing, you have a moisture sensor. That's under $800 to get a retrofitted moisture sensor. So don't think of that's the only way. This was done 5 years ago. Now there is the technology comes down, and as I said, if it's done as a collaborative project, there is matched funding 50-50.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And this was just a view of what is possible. I agree with you, Gavor. And I'll add something else. A friend of mine bought, I'm not going to mention the brand, a Japanese air conditioner. And I've got the same brand at home, but I bought mine about 10 years ago. He bought the similar size one, but now the new air conditioner comes with an app. And the app, you can set settings. So you can say, if the temperature is 38 degrees, turn on by yourself. Yeah, if it is within 2 hours of my arrival. So this is how we see some of the electronics now and some of the devices interacting with humans, and you set a level of automation by setting these parameters, and the machine will do exactly what you want. And you've seen on television the smart fridges now that are coming out. Have you seen some of the LG, the Samsung smart fridges that you can actually, now they're connected to the internet. So it won't be long, I agree with you. This is a video, but we just wanted to show some of the thinking. And I agree with you. Now, 5 years later and beyond, we're going to see all this automation, all this Industry 4.0 reaching us as consumers, as people in our everyday lives. So think about your survivor tasks, what you need to do. Think about how you're going to proceed with the business case and the funding could be assisted as we've already seen. Think about how you're going to project plan this, how you're going to execute it, and how to think about continuous improvement. So, from us, that is it. Earl, anything to add?
Just like to say it's been a pleasure, being here in
Absolutely.
WA and working closely with you guys in delivering this program. So we thank you for that. We also hope that that the presentation in its own right has actually been encouraging to yourselves.
Thank you. We've got business cards. If you want some of our business cards, if you want to talk to us about training your team or training you or understanding the GS1 system, more than happy to help. And one final thing, rain is not a bad thing. Over in the east, we don't have enough rain. So when I see rain, I'm actually quite pleased. So it can rain all it likes. Thanks very much and enjoy lunch. And thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, everybody, for your support throughout the day. Thank you.